collective punishment? The interview with Ioulia Komninos, the president of the United Cyprus Republican Party and the candidate the Cyprus presidential elections 2023. Question: Mrs. President, you are the only active Cyprus politician and political party leader who publicly called for the withdrawal of British forces from Cyprus. As we know, other candidates not only were silent on this major issue of foreign troops on Cyprus soil but were calling for Cyprus to join NATO. Tell the Cypriots more about your position. Answer: Annan Plan and in particular Articles 3 and 4 of the draft protocol to the Treaty of Alliance called for drastic reduction of foreign troops in Cyprus to at or below 6,000 ranks of each Greek and Turkish contingents by 2011 and to at or below 3,000 by 2018. Article 4 expressly mentioned the objective of total withdrawal. So should the Annan Plan have been voted for, there should have been almost no foreign troops in Cyprus by now. So our political party and my position on the ultimate demilitarization of Cyprus resembles the comprehensive position of the United Nations articulated by Annan Plan. But my view on the issue of foreign troops in Cyprus goes deeper in the history, in the colonial history of Cyprus and, in particular, into the doctrine of minimum force by British General Gwynn. Question: Mrs. President, tell us and in particular to the young generation of Cypriots about the Gwynn doctrine of minimum force. Answer: First of all, let me tell that Gwynn doctrine of minimum force is not a dusted page from used bookstore. The doctrine of minimum force is an active modus operandi of the British forces stationed in Cyprus and most probably by NATO forces in general. The recent publicity of the IDF operations in Gaza shows that this doctrine may also be implemented by IDF. General Gwynn articulated the doctrine in 1935 by saying that in cases of counterinsurgency the army is employed in aid of the civil power but is bound to exercise the minimum force required to attain its object. On the surface, the doctrine poses no immediate threat to civil liberties and human rights. But let me describe the doctrine somewhat further. Resettlement camps, preventative detention, even collective punishments can be justified in the name of security under the doctrine. Old generation of Cypriots know and remember well that this doctrine in early 50s permitted not only collective punishment but also preventative detention, house destruction, extrajudicial killings and other type of population warfare. So our political party see no space for any foreign troops in Cyprus and in particular, for the troops equipped with minimum force doctrine. Question: Mrs. President, you have mentioned collective punishment. Nowadays we hear more and more voices that collective punishment, although illegal by international law standards, is widely used by various governments. What does your political party do to protect the Cypriots against such infringements of their rights? Answer: First of all, let's listen to internationally recognized experts like Mr. Jazari, a career diplomat and the recent United Nations Special Rapporteur on effective sanctions on human rights. He clearly said that innocent civilians must not be exposed to collective punishment in disputes between interstates. Mr. Jazari holds Oxford degree in philosophy, politics and economics, as well as degree from Harvard and École Nationale d'Administration of France. I agree with him that this is illegal under international human rights law to use civilians as means of political pressure on a targeted government. Our political party received many complaints from Cypriots protesting sanctions as collective punishment. Our party position is that Cyprus government has no discretionary power to introduce sanctions adversely affecting human rights of the Cyprus citizens. Our political party already approached the Cyprus government on the matter. But it is not only about sanctions. We are constantly trying to help our supporters to sort out various issues, mostly with the government. That is why our mission is clear: fight for power. Existing power arrangement in Cyprus creates problems day by day. This is not only what I say. This is what our supporters are saying. But the biggest problem of all is the tacit acceptance of collective punishment, and, indirectly, the minimum force doctrine I mentioned earlier. Our party mission is to alert the population as well as politicians that in the 21st century we are still facing the real threats to our human rights. Question: Mrs. President, We witness major hostilities in Palestine. How to stop them? What Cyprus should do to stop them? Answer: the United Kingdom with all its pre-WW2 might fail to reconcile Jews and Arabs when the Palestine was under their control. Major uprisings happened there in 1929 and in 1936. Probably various doctrines of violence proved futile in the matter of reconciliation. We need kind of armed neutrality promulgated by Catherine the Great during American War on Independence. We probably need to go back to friendship, commerce, and navigation treaties of 19th century, like the one of 1832 between Russia and the United States. We all need to step back from the policies of the 20th century which claim lives of millions of innocent people. Cyprus should step back from adopting, even silently, minimum force doctrine which caused so much pain back in the Cyprus history. End of the interview.